want, if what you want is to violate women's rights, gays' rights, you name it. And that's what they're doing. They're saying we can violate these people's rights because, hey, we can do what we want. We were taught in our culture that, hey, a woman is nothing better than a dog. I'm telling you, that's what many of these cultures were taught. I'm not saying that Mexico is that way. I personally don't know all of Mexico's values, but I do know that the Mexicans that are living here today through many generations, when they came in here the right way and they followed the law and they did things the good way, guess what happened? They learned American culture, and now what are those people? Those Mexican Americans that are living here today are living here with fantastic values. They are upstanding, good citizens who are leaders in industry, and wealthy. Many of them wealthy and leaders in America. Why? Because they did it the right way. They followed the rules, and it had nothing to do with their color. It had nothing to do with racism in any way, shape, or form. And so when you want to call somebody a racist, you better be careful. You better be careful what you're saying, because it has nothing to do with color. It has to do with culture. If you are coming from a third world country, you had better be taught American values. If you are not, you're going to be at odds with what America stands for, and there will be problems. You have people coming into this country from the Mexican border who were not taught American values. And we've run into a lot of problems as a result. So I don't really care. I don't really care what people feel and what they believe about this. I know the truth. And the truth, my friends, will set you free. Will set you absolutely free. So I'm going to open this up for questions. Anybody want to ask me a question about these things? Try to stump me. Try to give me a little a different angle, possibly. I've presented my case, and if you listen to me, if you agree with me, give me a thumbs up. Tell me you're 100% in agreement. If you're not 100% in agreement, let me know, and let me know why. I want to hear from you. I am always open to suggestions. What I don't want to hear, in all fairness, what I don't want to hear is name calling. That will be an instant block to you, because I don't want to hear name calling. We're not here to fight in that sense. We're not here to spar. I want to spar with ideas. I want to bandy about different ideas, because this is what America's all about. Discussion of different ideas. So please, I need to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this process? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Do you see any merit in what I'm saying to you? But anyway, I don't know. I don't know sometimes what to make of some people who don't understand this. They immediately want to go to the racial element, the racial aspect of any argument when it comes to immigration. And it's sad, because really, this is not a racial issue at all. It's not. It has nothing to do with race. Because again, you can come from a country that is predominantly, based in European race. You have people coming from some of the Eastern Bloc countries in Europe, some of which do still hold on to Soviet-style communist ideas, some of them. And are we going to accept that? No, and I don't care what color you are. I don't. I just want you to adopt American ideals of freedom, constitutional, God-given rights. I don't see anything wrong with that. And to bring a racial element into it is not only ignorance, but it is insulting to the intelligence of those that know better. And you should know better. I don't understand it. The only thing that I can get from this, the only thing I can take from this, is that possibly, again, it's a ploy to try to discredit or to impugn the character of those making the counter argument, that are making an argument that you don't agree with. When you immediately call them a racist or a bigot, you're automatically kind of disarming them. The problem is, it does work in some cases, but it doesn't help it doesn't really help the cause of what is right. It doesn't help truth. It doesn't help goodness and righteousness. It hurts righteousness. It creates a more harmful society when you do that. So you may defeat that person and their ideas. You may say, Well, we've quelled their ideas by using this subterfuge, by using this horrible tactic. And yes, you quelled the ideas, and you've created a situation where your ideas have risen to the top. The problem is your ideas are inferior, and so what happens is society degrades, and you get this dystopian world where everything is just not right. You have, rampant criminalization, rampant, murders and horrible things, and we see that going on in some groups and in some, places in America, especially where leftist ideas or the ideas of what they call democracy are taking a foothold. They've taken a foothold for a couple of generations, and what's happening is those cities, those regions are crumbling before our eyes. Now, yes, they were able to quell the ideas of individual liberties and our republic. They crushed those ideas, and you can say, well, that's a victory. What is it a victory for, though? It's a victory for degradation. It's a victory for tyranny. It's a victory for some of the old school thought processes, Marxism, communism, the Soviet style crushing blow to freedom. That's what's happening. And I can tell you that's not what's productive in the world. So yes, you can say, well, we beat down those ideas. We beat down the ideas of individual freedom and liberty. Well, what have you succeeded in doing? What have you succeeded in doing? You have succeeded in crushing goodness and righteousness. Thank you for that. It doesn't make any sense. So I want all of you listening, if you don't agree, let me know. I'm not getting a lot of comments here. I'm kind of surprised that no one feels like commenting on this, because this is like the pivotal concept right now, the pivotal crisis in our society today. This fight between what they call democracy and our liberties that we hold dear, given by God through constitutional protections. These things are being eroded, and they're being eroded in the name of what they call democracy, or now it's what's really said democratic socialism. I mean, it's sad, because that's such an ignorant thing. Democratic socialism is just it's putting window dressing, it's putting an icing on trying to pretty up, or putting makeup on a pig. You want to talk about putting makeup on a pig? That's putting makeup on a pig. You're trying to dress up the old concepts of socialism or lack of freedom. But it's all the same. What you're doing is you're voting. It's the same thing as socialism, only you're voting for it. You're voting for our freedoms to be eroded. What's the difference? The result is the same. It's like kind of going into it's kind of like saying, I mean, this is kind of an extreme example, but it's the truth. You have a man that's put before a firing squad. Okay, they throw him in front of the firing squad and they shoot him. Ooh, okay. What's the difference? That's communism. That's socialism. Throw him in front of the firing squad and kill him. Democratic socialism is him agreeing to stand before that firing squad and having him killed. But what's the difference? The result is the man was executed. There is no difference, really. You can't, the result is the same, and it's a bad one. So this is what I'm trying to get people to understand. So guys, I'm going to relax for a second here. I want to see more viewers. Anybody who's watching, gather your friends, bring them in, or if you're not seeing this live, share this video. Share this video with as many people as you can, even if it was, it's not live. If you're not seeing it live, share this video, because I want to get these ideas out to people and get them to understand that there's a lot of deception going on, and we have to understand the deception. It's not enough to just say, well, I disagree with you. No. Get people to understand why they're being lied to. Get them to understand the process. It's that simple. Do you want freedom, or do you not? Do you want freedom, or do you not want freedom? That's what it comes down to. Do you value the tyranny of democratic socialism, or what they call democracy? Do you value that, stifling regulations, telling you what you can do with yourself, telling you everything, telling you exactly how to live? Do you value that? Or do you value individual liberty based on constitutional protections? It's up to you. What do you want? You tell me what you want. And if you want the democratic socialism, then God help you. You know what? Good luck. I don't know what to tell you at that point. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm going to take a little break here. I'll be on. I will be live still. I'm just going to take a little quick break. Talk amongst yourselves. Bring your friends in as we wait while I'm on break here. But I'm hoping that you stay with us. I want to try to put this poster. I got this great poster of Ronald Reagan that I want to put up. I hope you like it. Thank you very much. I'll be right back. Let freedom ring. Anyway, folks. Let the weak be strong. Let the round be long. Find areas to take. That's what I've got to find. I like me some Ronnie Reagan. Does everybody agree with me? Does everybody want some Ronnie Reagan? Hallelujah. Oh, see and you see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last who first and bright star through the veil night. Oh, the ramparts we fought were so gallantly streaked, and the rockets let flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, see, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Let's see here. Let's see if we can do this right. Can we do it right? Probably not. Oh, she does that star-spangled banner way. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the free. You like Ronnie? Hey, do you like Ronnie? This here is the man. Hey, Ronnie, we love you, Ronnie. We love you, Ronnie. We love you and adore you. But we don't bow down before you. We just love you and we adore you. End of story. We love Ronnie. We love you, Ronnie. We miss you, Ronnie. What would you say about Donald Trump, Ronnie? What would Ronnie say about Donnie? Huh? Does everybody know what Ronnie would say about Donnie? Come on, now. What do you say about Donnie, Ronnie? Do we love Donnie? Look, everybody, Ronnie loves Donnie. You understand it? Just like Mork loved Mindy and Joni loved Chachi, you know? And the home of the free. Oh Lord, I know you're mocking me. I know you're gonna mock me. Go ahead and mock me. Go ahead. Go ahead and mock me. Oh, land of the free and the home of the free. Oh, you say, can you see why the dawn's too proudly we be at the twilight whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we are were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, land of the free and the home of the free. There we go. It's Ronnie, baby. You like Ronnie? It's Ronnie Raygun, baby. And I'm back. It's Ronnie Reagan behind me. He's standing behind me all the way. As you can see, Mr. Ronald Reagan, everybody. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Ronnie stands behind me because Ronnie loves me. And you know who else Ronnie loves? Ronnie loves Donnie. Ronnie loves Donnie. I can tell you that for a fact. Oh, boy. So anyway. Oh, I didn't get my juice. I didn't get my juice. Come on, man. Everybody's got to love Ronnie. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Ah. Is everybody in? Where is everybody? Where in the world is everybody? For the land of the free and the home of the brave. So, for the land of the free. So who's with me today? I'm not getting anyone saying hello. Somebody tell me hello over here. Am I going to get a hello? Am I going to get a... am I going to get a greeting? Just to introduce myself again, I am Michaelantonio. And today I'm representing the Jingoist. I want you to tell all your friends about the Jingoist page on Facebook. Share Jingoist with everyone. I am one of the administrators of Jingoist, along with administrator and founder Dominic Luquette, Mr. Dominic Luquette. And we are here to let people know that, look, the cultures that we have here in America are important to preserve. And the only way to do that is we have to have certain rules that in place to make sure that anyone who enters America understands those values and lives by those values, or they can't live here. So again, it's not a color issue, it's a culture issue. And I think that's what we have to understand as a nation. Okay? And if anybody wants to chime in, please do. I'm waiting for you to chime in. And also let me know if you like my little angel on my shoulder. If you look over my shoulder, I've got an angel over my shoulder now. Mr. Ronnie Reagan. Mr. Ronald Reagan, everybody. Thank you very much. And once again, like I've said before, Ronnie loves me. And you know what else? Ronnie loves Donnie. Let's not forget about that. Ronnie loves Donnie. So go ahead and let me know what you think, man. I'm going to have a little snack because it's snack time for Michael. If anybody has anything they want to talk about, please let me know. Type it in the comments area. I don't see any comments here. I'd like to see some comment. You know what? I wasn't even looking at it. I'm sorry. Oh, I like this. David Wilson. I like that. Matthew 24:10. And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. Wow. Oh, thank you, Chris, for saying that. You're right. You're right. I really believe that's what's happening with the Democrats. They definitely want votes instead of what's right for America. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Sorry about my snack, but good old American nachos, you know. Tasty, huh? Ronnie here's on a diet, so he told me he didn't want any. But, so guys, let me know. I mean, if you have something to say, if you want to interject a little thought process like David Wilson, Francis Williams, Chris Maraca, all great things, man. I mean, you came up with some good things. I like that Matthew 24:10, man. You're right. I mean, I don't know, first of all, I want to say, and I know that I speak for many of you out there, we don't hate the leftist. We don't hate them as people. We just don't like the ideas they're espousing because those ideas are bad ideas. That's all this is. And that's what we need to understand, that whenever we say something, we want to say it in love. We don't want to be mean to them. We don't want to be cruel. We just want to tell them, I don't agree with you, and here's why. Because that's the ideas that you're espousing are bad. Not only are they really bad for America, but they're really bad for the world in general. You know, what are you going to do, though? So, let me know what you're thinking. Bring your friends in. I don't know what's going on, but it's kind of a quiet day. But hey, I'll wait. I'm patient. So anyways, what is everybody doing today? I kind of, outlined the problems we're having here in America with this movement that's, this left-wing resistance, they call it. What are you resisting? I mean, what are you resisting? True progress, like American freedoms and liberty and justice for all? I want everyone here to examine. I want everyone here to examine essentially what progress really means. These people call themselves progressive, but they're really not progressive. Everything they stand for is regressive. It creates animosity. It creates resentment. It creates all kinds of divisions. That's not progress. That's division. It's destruction. So let me give you an example here of why the conservative movement is a progressive movement, truly progressive. Because if you think about it, when America was founded, we founded this country on liberty, correct? Now we know that, I know they will say, but not everyone was free, and that is true. We had slavery for what, more than basically almost 100 years. We had slavery after the Declaration of Independence was signed. It was almost 100 years. But here's the thing: we did progress as a society. We learned. Now, many Americans already knew this. The North of the America knew this right at the start, but we had to. The northern colonies had to agree to sign the Declaration of Independence without the provision that the slaves in the South were free at that time. They had to sign that begrudgingly in order for America to become a nation free from British rule. So we know this happened. So what do we do in that situation? We find out that over this course of time, Abraham Lincoln comes along and says, no, 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 I don't like this idea that we have slaves still in this country. This is to be based on freedom. We still have slaves here. What's going on? So we have a war. We fight a war. The slaves are free. Now, does that mean that their problems end? No. But you see the progress happening, though. There was a progress from slavery to freedom to, even though there was oppression, there was still oppression. They weren't 100% free. We know this. No one's going to deny that. But we did come to a point in America where the slaves, anyone that was a slave, and anyone that was black that was oppressed because of their color, eventually gained their civil rights, their freedom. It took a very long time. It took another 100 years after Lincoln freed the slaves. It took another 100 years, but it happened. So the point I'm making is progress has been going on for all this time. We have progress. The problem is that people are not seeing it this way. They're trying to create a false narrative saying, no, we don't have freedom. We still have the same problems we had back then, and it's really not true. But what I'm saying is, who is progressive here? Remember, it was Republicans that fought for civil rights, not Democrats, not the left wing. It was the right wing that fought for civil rights, not only for blacks, but for all people. So you have to remember that people are on the wrong side of history if you feel that there's something wrong with what the true progressives want. The true progressives are the constitutionalists, or those on the conservative side. And if you don't see that, you're blind. You are willfully blind. And I feel sorry for you. Oh, Ronnie. Ronnie. We love you, Ronnie. We love you. We love you, Ronnie. Man, oh man. Let's see if we got anything on. I'm not sure you can hear this, but I just heard thunder. I heard thunder, everybody. We have danger. Danger, danger. Has everyone heard? Has everyone heard of this, the walk away movement? It's fantastic. Anybody who's watching now, comment on the walk away movement. Give me a comment about how you feel about this walk away movement and what we're trying to do to get Americans to see the deception of the left wing, what they're trying to do to this country and the swamp in Washington. Man. My goodness. Man, oh man. Man. I'm telling you, we got this, got some good stuff here on YouTube talking about essentially what's going on in South Africa, which I think is a travesty. It's amazing to me. Wow. So, has anybody also heard that Bill Maher, the left's favorite comedian, he literally trashed liberals over their hypocrisy on free speech? It's fantastic, wasn't it? So let me know what you think about that. I'm waiting for more people to jump on board if you want. Mm-hmm. Just enjoying a little mid-afternoon snack. Trump had an urgent speech. I didn't hear about this. I don't like these advertisements. My goodness. No, not bad. Because of our incredible achievements. Okay. So I would like anybody to comment on. I'll present something from the day, something's going on, and you can let me know how you feel about this because we have so many crazy things have happened in the last few days that it's insane. So I'll just throw them out there. I heard this insane news that Oprah Winfrey has come up with this new idea. It's a new movement. It's called Shout Your Abortion. I mean, literally, she's promoting abortion in the most horrific of ways. I mean, I can't even believe she would do something like that. So, if anybody wants to comment on that and tell me what you think about it, that's just, I mean, really? That's a disgusting thing to do. My goodness. But, this is America, I guess. These people, wow. It saddens me. It does, So, If you want to leave a comment, please do. I'm all for that. That one's not working. My goodness. It's awfully quiet. Nobody gives a care. Nobody cares. Let's see how they call him Trump derangement.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christian Conti. I specialize in
anger
management, and probably one of the questions that I get most
he specializes in anger management. I don't care about your anger.
Right here on the west of
Oh my God.
She's going nuts.
Oh my God, we got a girl screaming. Wow. This girl is screaming next to a Trump sign because she doesn't want the message. Really? Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow.
So if you choose to think about the things that cause you anger, then you're holding on to it. But if you can replace whatever you were thinking about with something new, it's going to be an active process, and it's going to take self-discipline on your part.
Wow. Wow. Why is the page not found?
The other thing that happens is we become really self-focused. He's calling for attacks against women. He's calling for attacks against gays and homosexuals. The whole regime's got to go. Attacks against gays, but I haven't not heard about that. I don't have a specific thing that simultaneously focusing on ourselves.
Racism, constantly. Racism. On television? I knew that, really. What is the other racism thing? I don't know. You think Trump is racist?
Well, I know that.
Against who?
That takes care of the lighter shit.
What about the 90s when Jesse Jackson gave him an award for being a champion of the black community?
Hey.
Ah,
Yep.
And our own anger. So part of the process of letting go is shifting the focus from me to get connected to help others. Now, this is not an easy thing to do, and especially if you've practiced for a really long time, getting good at holding on, you might have even formed an identity around being really angry around this certain area of your life. And so for you, it might mean letting go, might mean letting go of your identity a little bit. But what I hope to help you understand is this: your identity is not you being angry. You're much more than that.
Guilty. Of what?
Read that.
Where'd you see that?
Right?
Where are these? Yeah, where are these treated?
Oh, you know the opposite that.
No, I don't. That's not true.
And the other thing I want to bring to your attention is this: if something caused you pain in the past, and that moment in time is done and gone, then you continually replaying it is only bringing that pain to the present moment.
It's fundamental about them as people. People can change ideologically. I hope. I'm going to bring them here and be like, all right, take off your fur because we'll put a bikini on. It's a way better life in America. I think that people should be purpose. They want to wear purpose. You know, I don't think women should be forced to wear purpose. They are in these countries. Guess what? Not really.
And you know, it's something hurtful from someone who was in a dark place at the time and hurt you.
I
Why
figure
let
we'll-
that darkness live on? The only way to get rid of, the only way to honestly let go is to actively replace those thoughts with something else. Again, replacing thoughts of entitlement, and this is how the world should have been, with things like, what can I do to help others? What can I actively do to bring my gifts and talents to the world and help others? And how can I be grateful for the things that I do have?
I don't agree with which are you not happy with. I think did he say something that you just don't like? I guess they got a time.
Instead of being so focused on the things I don't have, the things that didn't go my way, or he didn't say what I thought he should have said, she didn't say what I thought she should have said, they didn't do what I thought they should have done. So you know what you don't have. Instead, have gratitude for what you do have. The more you can actively replace those thoughts of negativity and anger with thoughts of gratitude and compassion.
Yeah, I'm wondering who's the guy we got now. What's the guy? What's the guy? The guy that we're okay, but there's something great. Alright.
And what you do for others, the more you will actually, really, truly, honestly be able to let go.
What am I saying, bro? You're in my face? Okay. Just talking to you. I don't want this.
As always, more than anything else, I wish you much peace.
Others go to America. I'm occupied. Like America's also occupied. What about the diversity you're seeing on the Trump side? There's blacks, Hispanics, gays for Trump. There's a lot of different people that support Trump. Isn't it? Wow.
all these people. I'm talking to this guy that on Twitter that's like completely and totally. This guy's not too bright, is he? These people are ignorant. I don't understand the ignorance. This person said, now listen to this. Now you got to hear this. This is amazing. This person just said they followed the law at every stage of the investigation. That's literally what this person said to me. He literally said, now this is craziness. He literally just said to me that this Mueller team followed the law right from the very beginning. I mean, are you serious? Are you serious? Amazing. What baloney is that? What a bunch of malarkey. What a bunch of malarkey. What a bunch of malarkey. Good Lord, man. Good Lord. Now, first of all, let me tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. What happened is they literally were doing illegal spying on Trump even before the election took place, during the actual campaign. They spied on him illegally. Then they found this phony dossier and they tried to use it. They tried to use it in court to be able to wiretap him illegally. Everything was done illegally just to even get to the beginning of it, just to start the process. So the whole premise of the operation was illegal. If you're going to start illegally, the whole premise is illegal, and you got to stop it. You got to put a stop to it. So that's where we stand right now. We have to get rid of Mueller and his team. We have to Trump has to find a way to fire him and eliminate him from this operation. And if somebody else wants to do an investigation, let the Republican Congress come up with a team that will do it. It will not be an independent team. I don't believe in that anymore. That's baloney. If it was an independent team now, they wouldn't even be doing now what they're doing. They wouldn't be going after Trump right now because they already came to the conclusion that some Russians did a little bit of hacking and did a few things on Facebook and caused some problems. But none of it had to do with Trump. None of it had to do with anything Republican. So the point I'm making is they're already done with the process. It's a bunch of malarkey, you know? It's a bunch of malarkey. It's a bunch of malarkey. It's amazing. It is amazing, you know? But who am I? You know what I'm saying? Who in the world am I? I don't know which one is it. So yeah, I mean it's all just a bunch of malarkey, and I don't know. I feel like there's nowhere we can turn. When somebody votes for Trump, we voted for Trump. We put him in office because we want to eliminate the criminal elements in Washington. Trump is an outsider. Does everybody understand that? Trump comes from the outside in. We wanted that. America voted for that. We did not vote for the same old story. We did not vote for business as usual. In other words, you know, Bill Clinton, George Bush, then Barack Obama, and then now here comes Hillary thinking, oh, we'll just keep the status quo. America didn't want the status quo. They wanted to try something different because, look, our debt was piling up. So we had piling debt. We had all of these crises happening around the world. Nothing was being fixed. Everything was getting worse. So we thought, wait a minute. We got this guy. He's a businessman. He's been very successful. And despite what all these people, he failed. He went bankrupt so many times and blah, blah. He was successful 99% of the time. He has a 99% business success rate. Now, let me ask you something. How many of you are successful 99% of the time? How many of you have made $1 billion in business? I'll start. I didn't. Sorry. So what I'm trying to tell you is, that we have this man. He comes in, and we decide, you know what? We're going to try something different. We're going to try a businessman. This guy knows how to negotiate. He's negotiated very good deals. He knows how to balance a budget. He knows how to do things. that our government now obviously either doesn't know how to do or are not willing to do it. So we need some fresh blood. We need to do this thing. So what does he do? He gets elected. He comes into office. He starts cleaning up. We start seeing an uptick in the economy because he pushed the Republican tax bill. Let's get a lower tax bill. Now, he didn't get a balanced budget bill yet. We got to take care of that. There's many things he didn't get, but what I love is that he, even when he couldn't get, which again, this is on Congress, they messed this up. We couldn't get Obamacare repealed because we need something better than that, much better. But even though he couldn't do it, even on the heels of the tax bill, like as part of what they call a rider on the tax bill, they literally got a provision of Obamacare eliminated, which kind of helps us. So, he was able to eliminate basically the portion of the tax, the portion of the Obamacare that forces people to pay for insurance, or actually pay a penalty for not having insurance. And then what's funny is they still don't get insurance. So they have to pay this penalty and they still don't get the insurance they're supposed to get. So the Obamacare was an unmitigated disaster. And here we are in a place where now we've got President Trump, who is being attacked by his enemies. They don't want him there because they know he's going to ruffle feathers. He's going to upset the whole apple cart. He is turning Washington upside down, and he's only just begun. We're not even, we've barely scratched the surface of the criminal activity, the utter disgusting filth that is corrupting America via Washington. We have just scratched the surface. So I think that the point I need to make about that is that we need to stop. We need to put this prosecution team of Mueller, this left-wing media scourge, we need to put them on their heels. We need to force them into a situation where they understand that we mean business. We're here to win. Okay? We're here to win. So don't forget that. Now, I think I hear thunder, but I'm not quite sure. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm taking a break right now, but I will be right back after these messages. Who's with me? Leave a comment if you will. I'd like to see who's watching. And we're talking about whatever. I want you to bring something up. We can talk about it. I've been talking about the corruption in Washington and what's happening in this current state of affairs with the president and with the Mueller team and what's going on and how we have to put a stop to it. See, even God's thunder. I have thunder above me now, and it's God's way of saying I am not in favor of this Mueller team. This Mueller team is fighting my president, the one who I allowed to be in office right now, the one who I gave power to. And don't forget that. God is not happy, and he don't like ugly. You know what I'm saying? He does not like ugly. So, who's watching? Let's see. Let me just see here. I don't actually see it on here, but if you would like to make a comment, I would thank you to do so. And with the understanding that this is America, and we have freedoms, and our freedoms are constantly under attack. Constantly. So, let me know what you think. Boy, I'm hearing the thunder, man. I am hearing the thunder. Thunder, thunder, hear the thunder. Kind of like this little cup here. So I'm trying to figure out whether I want to get the what is it, the Mug Club from Louder with Crowder, or should I get Leftist Tears, the Leftist Tears mug from Ben Shapiro? I don't know. Oh, speaking of Ben Shapiro, I'm a little bit peeved at Ben Shapiro because he's kind of like taking this stance where he wants to attack the president. Now, I know he says it's in the interest of truth, like he's not going to sugarcoat things, and he wants to make sure that he doesn't come across as partisan at all costs for the president. But we have to understand something. We are in a war right now. You do not criticize in a war against the evils of leftism. You do not criticize your warrior partners, the ones that are fighting here, especially the chief warrior. You don't criticize him in public. Now, if he wants to privately say something if he wants to call a meeting with the president and ask for an audience with him and sit down and talk to him, you know what? I believe that is more than okay for him to do that. But I think when it comes, this is my philosophy. I just believe that we should not be publicly criticizing our fellow warriors in this stage of the game where we are. This is a war, and we have to circle the wagons, folks. This is not a time to treat everyone the same. I hate to say it, but yes, we know the president is flawed. That is a stipulation. If Ben Shapiro, as a lawyer, were to be in front of a judge, and we were dealing with a witness, or with a defendant, and let's say Ben Shapiro was the actual prosecutor. Okay, even the prosecutor would agree to stipulate, or the defense lawyer would agree to stipulate. Okay, I'm going to stipulate that the defendant is not perfect, that at times he has been a scumbag or whatever. He has done bad things in his life. Guess what? Guess who's done bad things? Me and the rest of you. So we've all made stupid decisions in our past. We've all done things that are not exactly righteous. So the point I'm making is that Ben Shapiro has a responsibility, and like I said, I like the guy. I'm not against him, but Ben Shapiro has a responsibility to protect our president right now. He has a very large audience. He has a lot of influence, and I want him to hear this. I already wrote him this morning. I told him this because I'm tired of it, but he has a responsibility to circle the wagons and to protect our president. I understand his misgivings. I understand that I want him to hear this. I already wrote him this morning. The point is, it's not going to help. He has a responsibility. It is not going to help to circle the wagons and to protect our president. Understand his responsibility as a major. I want him to hear. I don't have nearly the influence that Ben Shapiro not going to help. But he has a responsibility to understand. Yes, he can stipulate. Ben Shapiro has to understand. He can stipulate as a major. I want him to hear. I don't have nearly the influence. The minute you begin to stipulate help. But he has a responsibility to understand. Yes, on that stipulation. Elaborate responsibility as a major. I want him to hear. I don't have even if bond saying has some. The minute you begin to stipulate, we are completely responsible. Yes, on that stipulation. Elaborate responsibility as a major. I want the women. So who are we to? What's going to happen if they break in here illegally? They didn't go through the process to learn our values. Here's what happens. Somebody comes in here, and sometimes we have this problem with refugees because they didn't learn the values either. They come in here, and what do? They say they carry with them that baggage. You want to talk about baggage. In relationships, we always meet new people. You're looking for a new relationship, and you find somebody with all this baggage. They're bringing this baggage with them, and it creates tensions and problems and this and that. Why? That happens because you didn't go through the process enough yet. You didn't learn about what their issues are, and then you have to learn how to quell those issues and tell them, look, man, you're not going to carry your baggage into this relationship and allow it to dominate the relationship. It's the same way with a relationship with America. When you come from another country that has different values than we do, we don't owe you to allow those values to corrupt our culture. We have a cultural value system that is supposed to be pure. And that's not racial. That is cultural. That is freedom-based. We treat all people with respect. We give value to women. Women are equal partners in this venture with men. Genders don't matter in that regard. Sorry, but that's the way it is. If somebody comes from Iran, or they come from some other country that doesn't value, even the Far East, there are many Far Eastern countries that don't value women the same. There are Far Eastern countries and Middle Eastern countries that don't value gay people the same. So what do? They throw those people off of buildings. Okay, they murder people because they don't value them the same. In America, we value all people. We may not agree with all people, but we value them. They have equal rights. So, in that vein of thought, we have Joe, whatever, coming from another place with other values. He decides that he wants to just live the way he wants to live. He believes that it's okay, for instance, to honor kill. Oh, my wife's not obeying me. She's being very, very disobedient. So I'm gonna behead her here, in America. Oh, it doesn't matter where I am. Hey, this is what Allah has said, so we're gonna behead her. Let's take care of this. Sorry, but in America we don't have those values. And apparently you didn't go to class the day that that America taught equal rights. Okay, so you know what? And you don't get to do that. Now, if you do that, you're going to prison, or you might even be executed for murder because you murdered somebody. You didn't give them the same value that all humans deserve. Okay, so this is what's going on here. We have a group of people that still believe that it's okay for people to illegally break in here, not learn about our values, not learn how to assimilate into American culture, and then on top, what's even worse, we have to obey their cultures. We have to actually start adopting their own cultures. Why? That's not respect. That's disgusting. If somebody comes into this country and says, yeah, we believe in Sharia law. We believe that it's okay to treat women a certain way. If a woman goes out in public, she has to wear the hijab. She has to be covered up completely, or else she's going to be punished by our courts, by our Sharia courts here in America that we created illegally, because they don't care about our laws. So what do? We have to go back to square one, people. We have to put up the wall. We have to teach all people that are coming into this country, we have values, people. And those values don't necessarily meet up with your own. So what do? Here in America, we believe in freedom. We believe in justice. We believe in giving all human beings the same respect. We don't have to agree with all of you, but we have to respect all of your rights. If you have a right to free speech, we got to give it to you. If you have a right to be gay, you're allowed to be gay. If you want to be a woman and drive a car, you may drive a car. You're a human being. You don't have the right. Nobody has the right to tell you can't drive a car. Now, if you're a terrible driver, you better pass the driver's test, but that's a whole different situation. What I'm saying is we have many cultures in the world that do not value certain groups of people the same way, and so they say, well, you can't do these things. You don't have those same rights. When you come into America, you don't get to impose that upon people. You don't get to impose that upon your wife, your husband, other Americans. I'm sorry, but you can't do it. So when someone tells me we have to, not only do we have to accept their viewpoints and what their practices, but on top of it, we have to kind of obey them too. If you go into some area, I'll give an example. That up in Dearborn, Michigan. Poor Dearborn, man. They've got a group of religious zealots over there from a certain religion, where if you go in there and try to proselytize Christianity, for instance, or Judaism, or whatever religion it is, they will shut you down. They will tell you got to go. And the police do not even tell them they can't do it. The police don't even say to them, sorry, but people have a right to free speech here. You're not allowed to tell them no. You're not allowed to tell them they can't be here. See what's happening in America? We're losing our values. And this is why just allowing people to freely come into this country and do what they want, no standards, no system, no learning, just come on in and do what you want. It's a free-for-all. That's chaos. And that's another reason why 100% libertarianism doesn't work either. You can't have 100% anarchy, because that creates chaos. And that's what this is. This is anarchy in essence. And so we have to put a stop to this, people. We have to put a stop to this. And I don't know how else to say it. I think it's sad and disgusting. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. Maybe someday. But man, I gotta tell you, it's really amazing to me. Really amazing to me how people, they want to shout. You know what it is? It's the idea that people want to, and unfortunately, this is the fault of the far left. They have created a narrative. It's a propaganda, false narrative that they're trying to attach a value to being an immigrant, but it's a false value because they're not really immigrants. These people illegally cross the border. So they're doing something wrong. They're violating the law, so they should not be given that same respect. I'm sorry, but you violated the law. What they're trying to do, they're trying to say that they created the narrative that anybody that opposes them, anybody that puts up a wall, says they want to put up a wall and basically force them to have standards, that's a terrible person. It's kind of like a parent that spanks their child. A parent that disciplines their child and spanks their child and puts high standards on their child and says, you've got to live by these standards or you're going to have problems in the future. Things are going to get really ugly for you really quickly when you become an adult and you haven't had standards. You haven't learned these standards and adopted them. Here's what happens. But then you've got this other group of people who come in and say, you can't do that to your child. That's mean. You're cruel. You're mean. But really, it's not mean. It's not cruel. It's teaching people to be stronger. It's teaching people how to become good citizens and good Americans and good people in general. Raise your standards, people. Raise your standards. That's all we're talking about here. This isn't rocket science, people. It's simply not. I don't understand how anybody can see it any other way. I don't get it. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. I just don't understand it. Wow, But that's where we are. That's exactly where we are in the world today, where you have a group of people, they don't even understand what they're doing. They don't understand. I think a lot of the leftists today, a lot of the people in the Democrat Party, even some people in the Republican Party, they don't even understand what they're saying. They think they're being nice. They think they're being so wonderful. Oh, I'm such a wonderful person. Look what I'm doing. I'm standing against the tyranny of this administration and all these people who are trying to stop them from coming, and they want to hurt these poor people who are being persecuted in their countries. And oh my God, it's horrible. But you don't understand. You don't understand that it's a very toxic system when you just let them come in without holding them to certain standards. And it doesn't matter. Does it really matter if your child is a child? If they're doing something wrong? Do you not punish them even if they're just a child? If you have a child that's behaving badly, does that, again, yes, do I feel sorry for children? Yes, we want to nurture children and take care of our children. But the best way to take care of your child is also to discipline them very sternly, to make them learn discipline so that when they grow up, they become a good person. They understand right from wrong. And I think that's the problem we're having right now, is that we don't see a lot of that, We don't see a lot of that, and we're seeing just this. It's like I don't know. It's like a nanny mentality where this nanny comes in and she's trying to tell the parents, "Oh, you can't punish your child like that." They don't have any business telling a parent what to do with their children in that regard, Now I know. Ray, you were talking about Q. To be honest with you, I don't know much about Q and what that entails. If you want to write a little comment about what that is, I would really welcome you on that. I really don't get into a lot of that. Is that some kind of a conspiracy issue? I don't like to follow a lot of conspiracy stuff because I think a lot of it is malarkey. We don't even need conspiracy theories. We don't need conspiracy theories. We really don't. We already have enough issues in this country. I mean, the last thing we need to worry about is conspiracy theories. We have enough problems without those. I mean, and believe you me, I happen to know somebody, and we're gonna have a talk with him. I'm gonna bring him on. I'll probably bring him on to you now some night. If I can actually learn how to bring people on, I think I'm gonna have to do it on my phone because for some reason I can't get my desktop to bring somebody on board to have like a split screen. I think I can do it with the other one, but I'm going to bring on a guest, a special guest. This guy, I'm going to tell you about this guy. This guy, his name is Dr. Julio Antonio del Marmo. His story is amazing. It will blow your mind. This guy is an actual spy. He worked for and with the United States government for many years, and other governments as well. But he was originally one of Fidel Castro's young... he worked with Fidel Castro on his... he was one of the leaders of Fidel Castro's youth army. He was the top youth army soldier for the youth of Fidel Castro's regime. And it's, at the time, he really didn't understand what was going on when he started all this. He thought what Fidel was doing was a good thing in the beginning. Now, his father, this gentleman's father, was the chief financier for Fidel Castro's regime, for his, everything that he did. But the problem is that he learned very quickly what was going on. He learned very quickly a lot of bad things that were happening with the regimes and with the Castro regime, and that it was really tyranny. It was Marxism. It was a horrible thing, and it murdered a lot of people, caused a lot of problems. There's a lot of stuff that you can learn from him. So we're going to have him on. I'm going to have him on one of my shows soon, and you're going to learn a lot about this guy. This guy is incredible. And if you want to look him up, go ahead and look him up now. His name is Dr. Julio Antonio Del Marmo. You can find him on Facebook. Just an incredible guy. In fact, I might even, I think I'm going to post, I might even post a link to him, because he's incredible. Let me see if he's on here. Because, yeah, I just love the guy. I love the guy. You got to hear. I'm going to link him right now. If you want to look in the comments section, he will be in the comments section. You can click on him. You'll learn a lot about him. The guy, oh my goodness, so much that he has to offer us. So much wisdom, so much inside information. The stuff that's going on right now is no surprise to him. I can tell you that right now. In fact, he's told me a lot of things that have happened. I wrote articles on it. I had interviews with him where he wrote articles about things that were going on. He was the one who alerted us to, I don't know if you know, that down in Cuba, in the Cuban embassy, there was a lot of people getting sick from the State Department and from different countries. They were getting sick. They were having this, some kind of a strange bug that was making them very ill, throwing up and dizzy and all kinds of things. And come to find out, he was the one that mentioned, and he mentioned this to me months before it came out in the regular news, in the media. The media was talking about it much later. I learned about it several months before, but he knew it was going on because he still knows what's going on. And he was telling me that the Cuban government was actually using these sonar weapons to actually interfere with human beings' biological functions, and it was creating sickness. And they were using these sonar weapons. He told me about this months before it was brought out in the news media, and I was amazed by this. And at first I'm like, wow, I can't believe. I believed him only because at first I believed him because I knew his story, and I knew that it's more than possible that he knew what was going on. He had the inside track on this. But I got to tell you, for the average person that doesn't know Dr. Del Marmo, I'm just telling you, they would have been amazed. They would have said, "Are you kidding me? He told you this months before." So yeah, he has his finger on the pulse. There's so many things that he knows that's going on. There's so many things that he has done. You'd be amazed at his story. You got to read his books. He has several books out. Oh my goodness! I mean, I recommend highly that you go to his site, go to his Facebook here, and just read through the stuff that he, the information that he has, because it's amazing. It's just incredible stuff. I can't say enough about him. But I'm going to have him on when I get a chance. I'll probably have him on. I'll put him on my cell, because I for some reason I can't. If somebody wants to tell me how to do this, I'm trying to actually be able to share, screen share and bring somebody on my desktop. For some reason I can't do it on Facebook Live on my desktop. But I think there's a way to do it on my cell, and I don't like always using my cell, but maybe I'll just use my cell on that particular show. But I got to tell you, this guy is just incredible. He's just amazing. So everybody, I put the link in the comments section. Go to talk to Dr. Del Marmo, Julio Antonio Del Marmo. The guy is amazing. He's got an amazing story, more than one, several hundred stories. He's even written songs. He's a musician as well. He's kind of the ultimate Renaissance man, if you will, in modern day. But I will say, I don't want you to harass him or anything, but go ahead and go and check out his site. And if you want to engage him and thank him for his service, because he's done. You gotta believe this. He's done such a great service to America. You have no idea what he has done for this country. And if you read his books, you're going to find out what he has done. Just an amazing story. Dr. Julio Antonio Del Marmo. I can't say enough about my friend. He's amazing, and I'm going to have him on soon, and you're going to love it. You're just going to love hearing from this guy. It's just amazing. So, is everybody else all right? Have you got anything else to let me know? Go ahead and let me know. And like I said, Ray, if you're still with us here, if you want to talk about Q, write something a little right up about Q. I really haven't gotten into the conspiracy stuff. I don't know. I just kind of feel like, look, I feel what they did to Alex Jones was terrible. You know, it is. It's a violation of free speech. But, you know, he gets a little bit, he does go over the top a little bit. He kind of overstates. But then again, I look at that too and I say, you know what, I think he should, because I think it's always going to be overly cautious as well. We might as well investigate those things and find out whether they're not true or they're true. And, you know, if he went a little bit too far, oh well, I'm happy that he did go a little bit too far, because then maybe we went as far as we needed to go at least. And maybe we found out that some of what he said was true, and we had to put a stop to that. We had to let that come to the light of day. So it's not always a terrible thing to explore conspiracies or alleged conspiracies. It's certainly not a terrible thing to at least explore it. It doesn't mean we automatically believe it, but let's explore it at least, you know? So if there's anybody that wants to talk about anything else, and like I said, I don't. Okay, Ray, thank you. I don't want to tell you you're wrong about it. Or it's a bunch of bull. I don't know. I am going to study it. I can't give you an informed decision right now. Unfortunately, I can't, because I don't know enough about it, and I wouldn't want to lie. You know, that would be a lie if I were to sit here and give you some kind of an analysis that I haven't even done. So, but thank you for that information. I'm going to take a look. They're called the Praying Medic. Okay. I'm going to look into it, and I'll get back to you on that as soon as I can. But yeah, I mean, it's, hey, you know what? Maybe you're right. I try to keep an open mind on a lot of things. I mean, I really do. It's not, you know, but then there does come a point where you read a certain amount. It's like the flat Earth issue. I don't know. I just, when you read that stuff, I have to laugh, because it's utterly ridiculous. If you're uneducated about physics and about geology and geography and all these things that we know of planet Earth, it is kind of easy to be pulled in by it a little bit, and to be kind of feel like there might be some truth to it. But I mean, come on. It's really just, it becomes preposterous. I mean, the most recent example is when Elon Musk launched that large rocket, the Falcon Heavy, into orbit. Remember, he sent the car into orbit? And you could see the round Earth behind this car. I mean, come on. Everybody tried to say it was phony, he faked it, and like NASA fakes everything, really. I just, there comes a point where you just got to say, okay, that is just ridiculous, you know? It's ridiculous. So if there's anybody, and I appreciate it, Ray, I do appreciate you giving that information, because I am going to study it. I don't want to say something that I don't know about. That would be stupid. It's kind of like a Democrat, right? They say something they don't really know about, and they just think they know. Well, you know, those, you know, immigrants are people, are humans too. Well, yeah, we know that. But if you're coming across the border illegally, you're an illegal human in this country. That means you got to go back to your country. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's what it comes down to. I get ill over this stuff. I just don't understand. They try to shame people with false information, and it's terrible. It's a horrible way to do things. It's disgusting. It really is, you know? So is there anything else that anybody wants to talk about? Let me know. I know it's getting late. I am going to take a little bit of a break here. I'm going to take a bit of a break, and for about a couple of minutes here, but I will be back. Just to stay here and look at Ronnie over my shoulder. Everybody hey, you like my Ronnie? You like my Ronnie ray gun? Ronnie is the angel on my shoulder now, and he wants to give me the message that he loves you all, and Ronnie loves Donnie. Let's not forget that. Ronnie loves Donnie. So here we go. I will be back in just a few minutes. Thank you so much for joining me. But that's true of every cat, you know. Oh, Ray, am I live every night? I'm not live every night, but I haven't been live for a long time. I have kind of stepped away from that for a while. please comment. Oh my goodness. I'm back. I am back with a vengeance. So does everybody understand? Does everyone understand that we truly are in a crisis? I don't know if they do. So is everybody here? Is anybody who's watching right now? Please comment. And I want to say once again, I know there's not too many people watching right now, but I want to say that this particular program is sponsored by Beyond Unusual Gift Shop, and that is beyondunusual.com. Beyondunusual.com, and I will even write it in the comments. I would like you to go there, and it's kind of a gift shop for unusual items that maybe you can get for somebody or yourself, things that you might have never seen before, things that other friends can use that are usable, things that things they would appreciate. I know a lot of times you go to Walmart or you get them something ridiculously stupid. Maybe they don't really appreciate it. But I'm going to tell you right now that Beyond Unusual has what you need. Okay, I'm going to put this right here for you. And this right here is the gift shop that you're going to love. It's, all the gifts that you might not see in stores. Some of them you're not going to see in stores. And it's gifts that, like I said, friends that are hard to shop for. This is perfect for you, this site. I want you to make Beyond Unusual your go-to gift shop for online purchases. So that is what. I'm hearing an ice cream truck? That was strange. I just heard an ice cream truck. Wow. I didn't know they still did that in the neighborhood. Wow. Interesting. Interessante. Interessante. So is it, what's everybody doing? I'll be right back, folks. I have to check on, something here, but stay tuned, guys. We got a lot to talk about. If there's something you want to talk about, please leave a comment in the comments section below or on the side, wherever you are. Please leave a comment for me because we got a lot to talk about. Come on. Sorry, everyone. I am back. I had to let my kitty cat in. Hey, you want to see my kitty cat? I got a cat. His name is Kelso. He's a fantastic cat. Very smart. Very smart kitty. Here we go. Here's my kitty cat. His name is Kelso. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say hi. Meow. Say hi. Say hi. He doesn't know anything about this. He knows nothing about this. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi to the people. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Look, he's going to say hi. Hi. I know that's ridiculous. He's not going to say hi. Kelso. Yeah, the good kitty cat. I'll give you some nip later, okay? I'll give you some kitty nip. Okay, I know. I'll give it to you in a little bit. So, I don't think he quite understands what's going on, but he's a smart cat, I can tell you that. He knows He knows when it's time for feeding, if you know what I mean. But that's true of every cat, you know. Oh, Ray, am I live every night? I'm not live every night, but I'm gonna. I haven't been live for a long time. I have kind of stepped away from that for a while. But if you, I mean, I can be live more often, much more than I have been. I want to try to come on at least once or twice a week minimum, and there might come a point where I am going to be live much more often, maybe even daily. It's just that I don't have the time now because I have to work. I don't have, if I could do this more full time, or at least more than I am now, if I could actually generate revenue from it, then I could take some time to not be at my other job and do this. But that takes time. You can't just cut away and hope for the best. So what I want to do is, I'm getting sponsored. I'm sponsored by BeyondUnusual.com. So like I said, that's why. If you want to hear more from me, and you want other people to hear more from me, if you check out BeyondUnusual.com and purchase some of the stuff there, I can actually begin to do this more. So it's a slow process. I really am not looking at it as like, oh, it's a business venture. This is not a business venture for me. This is a labor of love. But on the same token, if I'm going to be doing it more often, I am going to need the sponsorship so I can take time to do that other than, working another job. But you know how that operates. You know how that works. So, but, I think it's important for people. What I want to do and what Dominic wants to do, by the way, everybody, once again, I'm not sure, are you here, Dominic? I'll go ahead and comment if you're here watching. Dominic is the number one top administrator and founder of the Jingoist page here. Everybody give him a round of applause and give him thanks because he came up with a great concept. The movement here that we got going, what we're trying to do is stem the tide of this globalist leftist scourge that's hurting us, that's hurting America and hurting the world. And so I want everybody to thank Dominic, and I'm here too as well to help the best I can. But I want to educate people in common sense more than anything. I mean, it doesn't take. I think people tend to forget. They try to use hyperbole and dogma from whatever particular political belief system they're getting it from without actually analyzing anything. They're not really analyzing what's real and what's not real. Their attitude is, this is what I believe. This is what I know to be true. It makes sense to me, and everybody else shut up. And the problem with that is they don't look at it from a common sense perspective. They don't understand it. I mean, even if from their own life, if they looked at it, if you could put America in a microcosm, and we do this, we've done this before, we've talked about this. If you bring it down to your household, when you go home at night, or when you're in your home at all, what are you doing? You're closing your door, you're locking your door. You're making sure that not just anybody walks through the door. That's common sense. Now, would someone call you a bigot for locking your door and for filtering who gets to come through? That's all, common sense individuals want. We want people to come in, if they are going to come in and act properly and not drag our country into chaos. It's that simple. We don't want somebody coming in here that has a disease that we're not familiar with and we can't treat. We don't want someone coming in here with a cultural value that runs counter to our freedoms, that violates the freedoms of women and gay people and any people, for that matter, any group of people. We don't want that. That is a violation of our freedoms, and we will not accept that. You must come in, and you must leave much of your baggage at the door. You have to. It's a filter process. You come in here, you take the tests, you learn about what America is. But you only come in when we tell you, okay, it's okay now, you can come in now, but you got to sit and you got to learn, and you got to understand who we are and what we value. How hard is that to understand? Am I wrong? I don't think I am. I don't think I am wrong. And I hope Dominic agrees. But Dominic, are you with us? I'd like to hear more from Dominic. Dominic, he is just, he's the voice of reason. By the way, he's the one that makes 99.9999% of the memes that you see on Jingoist. Brilliant. Dominic is a brilliant memist. I mean, this guy, and I got to tell you about Dominic. A lot of people don't know this. Dominic, and I'm not going to mention names, but Dominic, he's already helped to build other groups and other enterprises here on Facebook. This guy, Dominic, has done so much work tirelessly. And by the way, for no money, Dominic does not profit from this at all financially. Maybe he gets a satisfaction and he's doing something great, and that's awesome. I thank him for that. But just understand something, guys. Dominic gets nothing from this financially. He has done this for at least a couple of years now, several years. He actually helped build other enterprises or other operations and pages now that have built what I would call empires. This guy has done so much. He's brilliant in his thought process and in his meme building. If you know anything about the Jingoist, you know it's incredible. And so this is something that Dominic has done, and I want to thank him for that. And I got to tell you guys, man, I'm not just saying it. This is not just lip service. This is the truth. So everybody needs to really appreciate Dominic and what he has done, what he has brought to Facebook, what he's brought to the internet, what he's brought to the world. I'm telling you, he has brought a fresh approach to combating the craziness. So, and it's funny. I mean, memes are funny. It's a funny way of kind of telling the truth. It's like comedians. Comedians are very satirical. Many comedians have actually affected change in the world through their comedy, through making jokes about something, but not really jokes. It's not really joking. It's kind of like an offhanded joke. My father used to always say, Mike, there's a lot of truth in jesting. And that's true. There's a lot of truth in that. People have to understand that it's good Lord, I mean, it's the way to get through to people. When you tell a joke, when you say something that has truth to it, and you say, okay, now what are we doing here? Now, some people call it propaganda. Remember, it's only propaganda if you're basing everything you're saying on a lie. You're trying to perpetuate terrible ideas, and really, even though you may not even feel that it's a terrible idea, if you're perpetuating an idea that is very harmful, that's propaganda, and it's not something we should be following. But if you're trying to advance an idea that is, in fact, good for the world, you know what? Make it funny. Why not? More people will pay attention to it. People love Dominic's memes. I mean, he is funny. You got to go check him. I mean, well, right now, if you're on the Jingoist, you'll know. But for those who are not watching this on the Jingoist, please, everyone, go to the Jingoist. I'm actually broadcasting from the Jingoist. So if you see the Jingoist link, click on the Jingoist link, like the page, and I got to tell you, man, it's awesome. The Jingoist is it's the best page for culture, politics that you're ever going to find. You're not going to find a better one. Oh, and by the way, something different than a lot of the pages. And look, I love all the rest of the pages. I love the groups and the other pages that are trying to advance the cause. But one of the problems I see is that many of them, they seem to lose moderation. They don't have a lot of moderators that are stopping it. You have a lot of trolls coming in there and just kind of mucking up everything. And, you're not going to get that with Dominic. He's very, very good at filtering out the idiots. He's so good at it. I mean, he's on top of it because he cares. He cares about the people, the followers that like the page, the supporters. He cares about all of you, each and every one of you. And he wants to make sure that we have an environment that is not only productive, not only good for the cause, but also, he wants to make people feel like they're welcome and not attacked. And a lot of times you get people that come in and they obviously want to kind of destroy what we're trying to do. So I want you all to thank Dominic for what he's doing. I got to tell you, man, Dominic has done some amazing things. So thank him, please. Thank him. So, I know I'm going on and on about it. It's kind of ridiculous for me to go on and on about this, but I got to tell you, man, Dominic has just done some amazing things with the Jingoist and with other groups. And so it's, he's not a one-trick pony, man. He's got so many things going on. He also operates an antique shop up in central New York. And let me see if I get this right, Dominic. You're probably going to laugh at me, but he's what you call, he's also an expert numismatist. Is that, well, did I get that? Tell me if I got that right. He's a numismatist, which, and by the way, I'm not even going to say what that is. Can somebody write on here, comment to me if you're watching, do you know, and don't look it up, don't cheat. If you don't know, don't say it, but do you know what a numismatist is? Did I get that right, Dominic, that word? So if you know what a numismatist is, and Dominic, don't write what it is, because I know you're going to, you already know obviously. But if you don't know what a numismatist is, I will. Close. No, what did I do wrong? No, Dominic, come on. What did I do? What did I say? Oh, good Lord. But anyway, I know I messed it up. But anyway, all right, we're going to give everybody 5 minutes. We're going to give you 5 minutes. If somebody doesn't define numismatist, even in whatever way you can, don't look it up. I don't want anybody looking it up. But then, Dominic, I want you to explain what it is that you do. Explain your expertise in numismatism or whatever it is, and maybe you can. And I'd like you to, Dominic, I'd like you to do a video here soon to kind of explain where I said that wrong, but or whatever. But we're going to give people 5 minutes. Right now it is, well, actually it's 4 minutes now. Numismatist. I don't numismatist. Is that what it is? Numismatist. I don't even know. But anyway, anybody who knows that, comment. I'm giving you 4 minutes now. Right now it's about 5:37 Eastern time, so I'm going to give you until 5:41. Is that correct? 5:41. At 5:41, Dominic is going to reveal what a numismatist does, what that truly is. So we look forward to that one. So we got about 3-4 minutes here. Dominic will expose the secret right before our eyes. So bring all your friends, and we're going to find out what a numismatist really does. It sounds cool, doesn't it? And it really is, actually, but you're going to find out. So bring your friends. Let's go. I know, I'm being ridiculous, I know. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba. So, and everybody, if you want to comment as well, Do you like my angel over my shoulder, Mr. Ronnie Reagan, Mr. Ronald Reagan, everyone? Yep, he's an angel on my shoulder, to be sure. And I love the guy, man. And he loves us. He loves me. He loves you. And you know who else Ronnie loves? Ronnie loves Donnie. Mr. Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump, everybody. And I also wanted to mention, again, I'm going to say it again, this show is sponsored by BeyondUnusual.com. I'm going to actually post it again. I'm going to post it again for you. Please, if you want to shop, please shop at BeyondUnusual.com, everybody. It is the shop for all the unique gifts, many which are not found in stores. Things that you can get that friend of yours or that family member that they seem to have everything, or maybe they're very picky. You can find them the perfect gift. And it's great. And it's very low price. You'll find the best prices and whatever you need. Oh, also, I want to mention that I have a collection in there from Beyond Unusual. It's called American Legends. You're going to find a lot of cool stuff there that you're going to love. T-shirts with Ronald Reagan, other conservatives, other things in there that you're going to just love. And if you have any suggestions, I'll tell Beyond Unusual to put in those things. But I'm telling you right now, you're going to love this page. Look it up. It's going to be American Legends. In fact, I should link you to that as well because you're going to love it. It's just incredible. It is fantastico. So let us... it's getting close to 5:41, Dominic. So if you want to go ahead and start telling us what a numismatist does. What is the job of a numismatist? Because it's amazing. I love it. I love every minute of it. Loving every minute of it. Yeah. So, does the kitty want to go? This ought to be interesting. It's very fun. In fact, I want to show something to Dominic too. When you're done here, when you explain yourself, Dominic, I'm going to show you some things, and maybe you can tell me if it has any value. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. So, Ba-da-da-da-da. Oh my goodness. I gotta tell you, it takes forever. My computer's a little bit slow. That's something else I need is new equipment. I'd much faster computer to be able to do what I need to do. But if everyone is patient, if everybody is patient, I will be able to get it done. But you definitely, I gotta tell you, you definitely are gonna love. You're definitely gonna love the American Legends collection. The American Legends collection from BeyondUnusual.com. It's going to be great. You're going to think it's fantastic. And like I said, if you have any suggestions, be my guest. I do need to tell you, I'll give you a little bit of a disclaimer on the website, just so you know, with BeyondUnusual.com. But there are things you can order there. Make sure that if you order something, if you want it delivered very quickly, you definitely want to order American from the U.S. warehouse. You'll get stuff right away. You're going to get stuff quickly. So that's definitely something you want to do. So, dun 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 dun. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. So does everybody who here does not like Ronald Reagan? Is there anybody here who doesn't like Ronald Reagan? You know? Let me know. Let me know. And here we go. I'm going to... What? You just look at old coins? That was your explanation, Dominic? Really? Oh, brother. Hey, listen, did you... No, let me ask you this. Do you look at paper money as well? Or is it just coins? It's not currency of any kind? Is it currency of any kind? Anyway, here's my link to American Legends. BeyondUnusual.com. American Legends. You are going to love it. You are absolutely going to love the American Legends collection. But, what is that now, linking? So let me know, Dominic, if you actually work with other forms, other forms of, money, currency. Like Ron. Oh, you like Ron. I hope so. Thank you. Thank you, Ray, for loving Ron, because, like I said, Ron loves you. Ronnie loves you. So, that's great. I'm glad that you understand that Ronnie was great, man. He was a great American, Oh, so it is. So you do look at currency as well, but so why is numismatism? Is that what it is? Numismatism? Why is that? Why do they kind of exclude the study of currency? Is there another term for that, maybe? Am I digging a little too deeply here? But is there another term for that? I don't know. Because I had some currency I wanted to take a look at. I want you to tell me if it has any real value, okay? But let me know. Are you an expert on? Do you know a little bit about currency at least? Don't you know a little bit about currency? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? I think what I'm going to do next time, I think I might put this in the other computer. So I have another computer system. This is running a little bit on the slow side, so I'm able to do it in the other computer system and make this thing a little bit faster. A little bit. Just a wee bit faster, Bum ba dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum. No, Notophilie? Is that it? I didn't see. I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize there were two different terms or nomenclatures for the study of these currencies. I always thought that numismatism, like you were talking about, was the same. But I get notophilie. I guess because it's a note. Is that what you're saying? Like a bank note? So are you kind of a notophilie aficionado as well, or just mainly numismatism? Oh, there's a minute delay again? I'm sorry. You know what, though? I mean, well, we can still talk, you know. You know what I want you to pretend? Not Russia, but I want you to pretend that I'm, like, on my way to Mars or something. Okay. So, yeah, folks, I am now... We're having a little bit of a delay. I'm on my way to Mars. Nobody... we didn't tell you this, but... yeah, Elon Musk had a secret rocket program. He was testing this out. He's using me for the test because... frankly, he thinks I'm expendable. So here I am on my way to Mars. You're going to have a bit of a delay, but like I said, I'm okay. And when I get to the planet, I will let you know if everything turned out okay. But in the meantime, you can still hear me and talk to me. It'll just be a little bit of a delay, you know? Okay? So anyway, whatever anybody wants to talk about, I am here to talk about. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, my kitty wants to go out. These cats, I gotta tell you, they're so incredibly picky. You know what I'm talking about, guys? Do you know what I'm talking about? Picky folks. Picky folks. Picky folks. Everybody. So who wants to talk about something? You have something that I'm so, you know, I have been so incredibly disgusted by the behavior of the left wing here, of the swamp in the last few days, that I'm just, I don't even know how to begin to talk about it, you know? I don't even know how to begin to broach the subject seriously. I don't know. What's not fake news? What are you talking? Oh, Ray, what are you talking about, man? Maybe it's not fake. Maybe I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to the audience imagination if they truly believe that I'm on my way to Mars. But you know what? Let's just say for the sake of argument, I'm right. Let's say I'm on my way to Mars. What better passenger, what better partner to have on my way to Mars than Ronnie Reagan? Than Ronnie back there. Cowboy hat and all, man. Ronnie loves me. He's going to take care of me on the trip. He promised. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. You know? Oh, Ray. I'm sorry. That was funny. Good job. That was fantastic. Yeah, I just, I feel like, I feel like maybe we should be going to Mars, considering what's going on here on Earth. My good Lord, I mean, Earth is becoming Mars. I mean, the people are that, you know, their thought processes are that alien. You know, it's ridiculous, you know? Oh, what is going on with this planet? Jeez Louise. You know? Jeezy Louise. So anyway, yeah, my baby went to the dentist today, so when she arrives, she is going to be upset, probably. There's probably going to be maybe dental work. I don't know what to make of it, but it's, you know how that goes. When you go to the dentist, I was at the dentist last month, and I got to tell you, I'm not a big fan of the dentist, but, you know, hey, I like going to the dentist if it's going to help me. You know, if it's going to do something to help my, you know, my oral hygiene and just keep my teeth, you know, healthy, and, you know, and of course, the older we get, the more difficult that gets. So I definitely appreciate that. But so I don't know if everyone can hear me. Can everybody hear me? Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin. Don't you know? Don't you know? So everybody, we have a new person coming in here. Hang on 1 second, I'll be back. Well, I knew it wasn't great. You know, when we get to this, you know, when we look, when human beings get to this age, this is what happens. When you get to middle age, everything starts to fall apart, including your teeth. Then you got to start getting crowns or that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know, but, you know, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But hey, at least we have the ability to get something to fix our teeth, you know, to get to that position. That's what I'm happy about. So, yeah, except for that one. How did it go bad? How did that one have a problem? So, did you, wait a minute, did you not floss enough or something? There you go. That's what caused it. Hey, when you don't floss, hey, kids, if there's any kids out there, anybody under the age of like 30, especially, I'm going to tell you right now because you don't feel it now, but you will later. If you got to floss. If you don't floss, you're going to have a lot of loss. You listening? If you don't floss, you're going to have a lot of tooth loss. I'm telling you. You better fix it. And I would never forget about you. Dominic, how could I ever forget about you? No, my lady fair came in and she was talking about her dentist adventures today. And it gets to a point where you got to talk about, you know, you got to kind of deal with that. You know, that is a serious issue, you know. Oral hygiene, oral care, as it were. Oral dentistry, oral Roberts. No, that's not it. But anyway, so did anybody share the site with, you know what I'm going to share the site with, if I may. I don't know if I did, but I'm going to share the site. What in the world did you do, honey? Oh, I'm going to share the site with these guys. So does anybody want to talk about anything or what? I mean, I'm here for you today on a limited engagement. And I just wanted, you know, I talked earlier too, but I'm going to reiterate what I was saying because I think it's important for us to understand that. I'm definitely going to reiterate, you know. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? Anybody remember that song? Does everybody remember that song? Dinner time? You're going to dinner? You're telling me to forget it? Well, anyway, that was Dominic Luquette, everybody. Dominic, founder and administrator of The Jingoist. Everybody give him a round of applause. He's been fantastic, and he may be back another time whenever I go live again. But thank you, Dominic. I don't know, I don't remember which ones you did, but that's good. I do appreciate. So, I wanted to reiterate, as I gain some more audience members, that we have to understand. That we're in a very serious situation here. Very serious situation. Okay, and I don't know how else to say it. We have this band of criminals trying to convict the president, and he is trying to make America great again. Let's be honest. I mean, this is not rocket science here. America has been in a real bind over the last few decades, and we haven't been able to come out of it. And here we are. We got a guy that's willing to do it, and we got enemies. We got people constantly trying to attack it and break it down. So it's important for us to understand that we are limited, and although we are limited, there's a lot we can do. You know, there's a lot we can do. Yeah. So, I want everybody to know that if there's anything you want to add, please comment here. Please comment. And also say hello to the angel over my shoulder, Mr. Ronnie Reagan. Mr. Ronald Reagan. And remember, Ronnie loves you and Ronnie loves Donnie. Let's not forget that. Let us not forget. Let us not forget. Da, 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 da. And I'm going to reiterate what I was talking about before, because it is that important. I'm going to keep saying it. Every time I come live, I'm going to say something about this. It might not be the entire diatribe, but it's going to be something. It's going to be a little something, because we have to understand, too, that although, look, Trump is going through a lot right now. We have an attack on him. We need Trump to do the things that we need to get done right now. But remember, this is, someday Trump's not going to be there. Someday, whether it be 4 years, 8 years, no matter what it is, there's going to have to be somebody that comes after him that carries these values. And so we have to let as many people as we can know what those values are and how to defend them. And I think the best way to defend those values is to talk about what those values are and why we defend them. What is so important about those values? Well, yeah, we know. Oh, you're saying that, you're talking about Trump cleaning the swamp? For sure. For sure. He is definitely cleaning the swamp. I agree. But we have to come to the point where we know how to deal with someone who is so incredibly propagandized and brainwashed by this leftist movement. They don't even understand what they're doing. They don't get it at all. They don't understand about the difference. It's not a racial divide when you're talking about immigration, for instance. It's not about race. It's about culture. And there's a difference. If you look at, and I'll say it again, I got to keep saying this because it's important for people to understand this. This is not about race. And when someone tells you it's about race, that's baloney. And the reason why we know it's not about race, there are so many other things to explain that. And let me begin by explaining it this way. Those of you who have already heard it, please excuse me. I've got to keep saying this because I have several different audiences here. But of course, we will share this video. I would ask you all to share this video as often as you can. But I want to start by talking about what's the purpose for America having a border and having that vetting process. And I'll tell you what it is. America has a particular culture. Our culture is based upon individual liberties. That's what it's based on. It's based on that everyone has a voice and everyone has equal value. You can say what you wish. You can do as you wish as long as you're not hurting anyone else. That is the Those are our American values. You cannot get around that. That is a fact. So what do we do with that? What we do with that is we have to set up some kind of a framework, a filter to make sure that the people that are coming from other countries understand those values and share those values. You have to operate in those values, or we have chaos in America. We have people violating the law and violating the rights of others. So this is something that a lot of people don't understand. This is something a lot of people just don't get. Okay? So I'll explain it very carefully. This is how we're going to explain this. And I've said it before. I want to compare it. I want to compare it to getting your driver's license. Now, we know that according to statistics, if you are a safe driver, if you learn how to drive properly on the roads, you contribute to road safety. Fewer people are injured or killed on the highways. Now, does that mean that no one is killed? No. Some people will be killed anyway. It's statistically impossible to stop all danger. However, we know that if you're safer, you have fewer of those problems. So when you go into the DMV to get your driver's license, there's a process. Think of it as a filter. You have to go in and you have to sign up to get your permit. You have to take a written test. And first, of course, you got to study for that test. You got to be ready. You go in there, you take the test. Now, if you pass the written test, that means that you are able to start training on the road. But you can't just get in a car and drive by yourself. Then, what do you have to do? Then you must go to, then you have to go on the road with a licensed driver. Okay, now that licensed driver, that driver shows you how to, helps you drive, helps you learn the process, because they already have the experience, they already know how to do it. Okay, so that's where we're getting with this, and I want you to understand that you know it's I don't know, I just don't get why so many people can't understand how this process works the same as, for instance, you know, trying to come into this country and be part of our culture. So what happens, then you get your driver's license. After you take it, you know, you learn for a while, then you get to go take the test. Now it's a driving test. You still have someone come in and they test you. They say, okay, now if you pass the test, you have been deemed worthy to drive safely on the roads, and you now have lowered the risk for danger and chaos on the highways. That's how this works. Well, it's the same thing coming into America. We have a set of values. Now, if you come here from another country, I don't care what country it is, you can make one up. I don't care. Someone comes in here from another country and they decide, well, I don't like this rule. I don't like the fact that you treat women the same as men. Doesn't matter. As an American now, you want to be American? You want to live in America? You're going to have to take on or adopt our values. You're not allowed to throw gay people off of buildings. You're not allowed to cut a woman's head off because she disobeyed you. Sorry, you're not allowed to do that. So these are the values that you learn. When you come in here, you have to sit down, you have to learn. You have to learn a process, you have to follow the rules, you have to obey certain things, you have to pay a certain amount of money even. There's things that you have to do to even live in this country legally, to get a green card. And that's not even talking about getting citizenship. So the point I'm making is there are standards and there are cultural things, there are cultural norms that we have in this country that you must obey. And it doesn't matter what country you come from, whether it be Mexico, whether it be China, Iran, no matter where it is. And the point is that some of these countries do not value certain people above, equal to other people. Let's be honest. In Iran and in many of the Middle Eastern and even some of the Far Eastern countries, women don't have the same value as men. It's as simple as that. You know that. In some countries, gay people don't have the same values as straight people. They will throw you off of a building in some places or kill you in some other horrific way. We know this to be true. So what is it that we do? What is it that we have to do? We have to set standards. We have to hold them to those standards. Now, what happens when we don't have a border. There's nothing there, and people just rush in, sneak in, whatever they do. They come in here, they get in here illegally. They didn't take any of the tests. They didn't learn any of the standards. They didn't learn our cultural norms. And now they bring in some of their own baggage, some of their bad baggage from third world countries that don't have high standards. So what happens? You have disease, and that's a fact. You get not only disease, but you get people who are violating the rights of others. So you get people like from the Middle East and the Far East that are killing their wives and killing their children for disobeying them. You get illegal aliens killing young innocent girls for whatever reason. They're not respecting the rights of others. Maybe the girl didn't accept his sexual advances, something to that effect. Then what? What do you do in that situation? The point I'm trying to make to you is, the point I am making is that, we're living in a situation here where we've got to stop this. We have to set standards. And if somebody tells you, well, people get killed in America anyway from Americans, so what are we worried about? Well, yes, that's another crisis that we have to address, and especially in certain areas. But what I'm saying is, if we put up that wall, you're going to have fewer Americans being killed, because you're going to eliminate one of the problems. Is that enough? Do you think is it worth putting up a wall? Absolutely. If you save, the old expression, if you save only one life, the wall was worth it. Why not? But let's say you're not going to save just one life. You're probably going to save hundreds of lives every year. So the point I'm making is, we need a wall. Let's put the wall up, I don't understand it. All right, thanks, Ray, for coming here and spending your time with me. I really appreciate your time. Thank you kindly, and God bless you. And I will check out the, Praying Medic. I will do that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great night. So, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. What is after 6? So who is here with me? Is there anybody here with me? Is there anybody here with me? Thank you so much for joining me if you're here. I do kindly appreciate it. Absolutely. And I would like you to know that I am I'm going to be coming on more often, but anything anybody want to talk about? We've been talking about what's going on with immigration and with the attacks on Trump, you name it. You name it. So you let me know. You let me know what's going on here. And I will be more than happy to talk about it. I'll probably be going offline in a little bit here in a few minutes. But if you want me to continue doing a live broadcast once in a while, please let me know in the comments or on Jingoist. Send a message to Jingoist, the Jingoist. Let me know if you want me to be on more often and talk about this. We can have discussions about these things. If you don't, then tell me to get lost. Tell me to get lost. But I just wanted to know I want you to know before I go, please share this video after the fact. It may not be live when people see it, but it's going to be live enough. It'll be live information. It's information that's very alive, if you know what I mean. It's very important stuff for people to understand. But what I want you to know is that if you just understand how important this information is to get out to people. Share it, know it, love it. It's very critical. It's very critical. But in the meantime, I want to thank you all for watching. Whoever came on here to watch, I appreciate it. And just a reminder that this is brought to you by several different things. This is brought to you by Dominic Luquette, who is the administrator, the top administrator, chief administrator, and founder of the Jingoist page. I want to thank him for allowing me to come on here and speak to you all. And I will be back another time to talk. But I want to thank him, and I want you to share this video. Please, very important we share this video. But on the same token, also, it's also brought to you by BeyondUnusual.com. That's BeyondUnusual.com. That is a gift shop where you can get all the most unique and best gifts for your friends. Essentially, it's a great site for finding the perfect gift for those people that are picky. You know, those people, those friends and relatives in your life that they're never happy with what you get them. They always re-gift or they go, return it, whatever the case. This is the perfect gift, the perfect place for gifts. And I also have a section. It is called American Legends. You're going to love it because it has a lot of things pertaining to, American pride, Americanism. It's got some Ronald Reagan things there. It's got some Donald Trump things. It's got some Make America Great stuff. It's a lot of great stuff. You really need to explore it, check it out. You're going to love it. You are absolutely going to love it. So you need to check that out. It's I left a link for you here in the comments section, so please check that out. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'm going to say goodbye for now. Ciao.
Person has been charged with it. This person is an undocumented immigrant. Mike Pence and the president have suggested the immigration laws need to be stronger so that people like this man who was accused of this murder were not in the country. Your reaction?
I'm so sorry for the family here, and I know this is hard, not only for the family, but for the people in her community, the people throughout Iowa. But one of the things we have to remember is we need an immigration system that is effective, that focuses on where real problems are. Last month, I went down to the border, and I saw where children had been taken away from their mothers. I met with those mothers who had been lied to, who didn't know where their children were, who hadn't had a chance to talk to their children, and there was no plan for how they would be reunified with their children.
You are a meathead.
A lot of these people that have these security clearances, and this is the secret in the swampy Washington, D.C., they have them and they keep them because it's profitable for them after they leave government. Because if you have a security clearance, especially high-level security clearances, your contracts and your consulting gigs pay you a lot more money because of the access that you have. I hope the president continues to do this.
Profitable, Paris. When I am requested to sit on an advisory board, let me ask you one question. How much do you think I'm paid to do that at the request of the U.S. government? Give me one answer, and you got 10 seconds. How much?
I'll ask you a question. How much are you paid for your consulting and contracting gigs? For being a
I have no contracts with the U.S. government that pay money.
I'm not talking.
Zero.
And this is the thing.
When
I'm not talking about
asked
the federal
to offer
government,
advice to the U.S. government,
Phil,
I
let's
get
be
paid
honest.
zero.
Phil, let's be
That's
honest.
it.
I'm not talking about your role with the federal government. I'm talking about the
who are you talking
contracting
about?
gigs that
You
you get
about
from
General
being a
Hayden?
consultant and a contractor. The consulting firms that they form and that you all get is because you get more money when having a consultant for having the security clearance.
That
Stop
is
acting like
incorrect.
that doesn't happen.
I have
That's the
zero
truth.
consulting relationships with the U.S. government. Zero.
I'm not talking, Phil, that's a good talking point. I'm not talking about relationship with the government. I'm talking about in the private sector. When you have a security
I
clearance
have
and you
zero
keep it.
relationships with the private sector that involve my security clearance. Zero. I get $0 from consulting companies that deal with the U.S. government. Are we clear?
Well, I will be clear in saying that everybody in Washington, D.C. knows if you don't want to be honest about it, that's on you. But if you have a security clearance and you keep it, you get more money to have it.
We're done. Get out.
Phil, it's not your show, so I'm staying right here.
We're done,
more money to have it.
We're done. Get out.
Phil, it's not your show, so I'm staying right here.
I've known sometime about her condition, and I just prayed that even though the odds were very, 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 very crazy when you think maybe 1 out of or 2 out of 100, you know, would succeed or would beat this thing. I just feel that all these various diseases that we have and all these things that are happening in the world, in part, it's because there are those who don't believe in global warming. It's because there are those who don't believe in global warming. It's because there are those who don't believe in global warming.
That's a bunch of malarkey.